It's the season of giving, and many are out buying gifts for the kiddos. Toys are fun, but they can be dangerous. I sat down with a well-known doctor, and he has some tips to keep in mind when you're out shopping. Buying gifts for little ones can be tricky if you're not careful. Dr. Sudip Bose is an ER doctor at Medical Center Hospital in Odessa. He's also a professor in Chicago. Dr. Bose explains why you need to be aware when getting toys.
This is a real issue. There were, in the year 2010, for example, there were 250,000 emergency room related visits from toy injuries. And then in 2007, there were over 19 million toys recalled because of safety issues.
And when you're looking at a toy, how can you know if it will be safe?
There's not a one-size-fits-all perfect toy. And the thing to do here is to follow instructions. It's age dependent. You know, although these are for fun, worst case scenario is you have to think of what could be dangerous about this toy.
There are certain things you need to keep in mind as you shop.
The jump rope, I think, in my opinion, any toy that promotes physical activity is good, but this can also be a strangulation hazard. Something as simple as markers and crayons, you have to make sure all aspects of it are non-toxic.
When you buy a toy for an older child and you have a younger one at home, could they get their hands on it?
You have to think of each toy, you have to think, how can it break and become dangerous little pieces? How can it break and become sharp edges? How can the packaging hurt the child? How else can this toy affect another baby? So is there a sibling or a younger child in the house even though you bought the toy for an older child?
In a worst case scenario, your child gets their hands on a small toy. They put it in their mouth and start to choke. Dr. Bose explains what you should do.
One quick basic rule is the child coughing? If the child is coughing, that means their own body is trying to spit out that part that they're choking on. And in that case, leave the child alone. Because the child may have a partial obstruction and they're coughing and trying to cough it out. And then if you go up to the child and start trying to do the Heimlich or some maneuver, you can turn that partial obstruction into a full obstruction, and then all of a sudden their airway is completely closed.
If there is any question of choking, get them checked out to avoid further problems. Dr. Bose suggests that parents take a hands-on approach.
I encourage all parents to take some sort of CPR class, some sort of basic first aid class, just to have basic understanding. So again, you want to be prepared for these things before it actually happens.
Here's more advice on what to consider when picking out a toy. Does it promote intellectual stimulation? Will it create social interaction? Is exercise a part of the toy? And is it safe?
These are things where, you know, you don't just pick up a toy and toss it in your cart. You have to look at the key things.
Stephanie Mills, News West 9.